What's up? 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 It's your favorite alien, L-Fro in the his house. What's poppin'? Hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure this shit is right. Okay. Uh, I had to make sure shit was right, bro. Alright, so let me redo my energy again because that wasn't. I didn't come with the right. Come on, Coyote! Fuck! Stupid object. Fuck. Okay. Alright. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your favorite alien, L-Fro in the house. What's poppin'? What's cracking? I'm in this motherfucker as usual on my channel, on my frequency, and yapping on these streets. So what's poppin'? It's your favorite alien, L-Fro. What's up? So right now, yeah. So yeah, right now I'm not as upbeat as usual. Going through some shit. So it is what it is. It's part of this journey of life, this ups and downs. And when you're on this earth, you gotta fight off, you gotta ward off the forces of evil. But that doesn't stop you from living. We only got one chance in this motherfucker. So welcome to um, my temple, my sanctuary, where I delve into the mysteries of being a wizard and getting into the creaky cauldron. And in this cauldron, there's things that are waiting to be discovered, things that there's more than meets the eye. There's more than meets the eye in this reality. And it's important to connect with those realities because you exist on another plane. You don't exist on this regular Earth shit. You exist in the stars. You exist in a higher realm. And when you're contemplating where you want your journey to go, you wanted to reach out into the stars, into the constellations, where your horoscopes are read, where the constellations guide your path, where there's no questions, there's no worries, where you have your suit of armor on for any ghosts, goblins, and witches who want to take your shit down. Because understand something, you're the shit, no toilet. You the shit, no toilet. The world is shit, you the shit. So pop that swag, pop your collar, and go get your dollars. Don't let Earth stop you from becoming a wizard. Becoming a wizard is sacred. Becoming a wizard is sanctimony. Um, the cosmos is there for all of us. And when you realize what you need to do, um, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Because this shit is, it's nothing. This earth shit is nothing. Uh, what's up, Diego K9? What's up? What's up? What's up? So yeah, this shit is nothing. Once you come to the realization that there's other beings and energies out there waiting to talk to us, then there's no need to stress. There's no need to worry. There's no need for attention. You don't need attention. These realms, these portals, are enough attention. Because when you're in Saturn, things look better. The patterns look different. Um, what you vibe into, what you vibe into, uh, is a different channel. Because understand something, your life is like a television. You have to decide what channel you want to put on. There's the cosmic channel, and then there's the earthly channel. And the earthly channel, there's basic cable. The Earth is basic cable, and you want an IMAX interactive experience. And for that, you have to realize that you are the IMAX experience. Because understand something, basic cable is basic cable. It's basic entertainment without all the bells and whistles. The IMAX theater program is waiting for you. You are the IMAX. You are the Cinemix. You are the movie. Understand something. You are um, the Brad Pitt to your Angelina Jolie before the divorce. You are um, the water to the oceans before humans polluted it with oil. You are you are the unicorn that you are looking for. You are a unicorn, and the unicorn is waiting for you to jump in and ride this bitch. Because no one's gonna ride it for you. That's just the key. That's just the reality. No one else is gonna ride for you. These ride or dies. They'll die quickly, and as soon as you looked for them is the same way they'll leave you. So you need to ride or die for yourself, because in outer space you don't need Popeye's chicken. In outer space you don't need McDonald's because understand something, Um, McDonald's is too expensive. So it's time to go into another direction, a direction for your protection, and it'll give you more juices than an erection. These portals are a gift from higher sources, and you must figure out that you are the source because you are the source in all things. You are the cause and effect. You are the textbook, the magic book, uh, the book that you're waiting for. So exactly, McDonald's is too expensive. Again, it's too expensive. You are the dollar menu. You are the dollar menu before it got taken away. You are the Happy Meal, the great value pack. Because understand something, as stuff gets more expensive, you are priceless. As stuff gets more expensive, you are priceless. Don't sweat a bag of chips going from $1.50 to $3. Don't sweat a Starbucks mocha latte uh, going from like what is it like $5 to $8, or Chipotle, classic example. So we're gonna have to charge $5 for an extra scoop of beef. Like, are you serious? So, because whenever these prices get out of control, I make sure to realize that I'm priceless. Just trust. I wanted to get some McDonald's today, and I saw the price, and I said, "Fuck no, this is ridiculous. This is fast food. This is restaurant prices. I'm just gonna go straight to the restaurant." The whole point of going to McDonald's was to get a good bargain. And sometimes in life, if you're not getting a good bargain, then you need to renegotiate the terms and conditions. When you're not getting what you want out of life, uh, you have to renegotiate before it's too late. Because there's a timing to this shit. See, people unalive their families, cause havoc, fart in the elevator and said that you did it because it's too late for them. It's too late for them. And um, it's not too late for you. The bigger the hole, the harder it is to climb out of it. Because remember, staying on the wrong path, no one scratched that. I'm gonna say being a normal human is like going on a train that you know is gonna crash, and the longer you stay on it, the more expensive it becomes to get back to the outer planes. Because you exist on the outer planes. This plane is Avatar. This is like playing Wii. You know the avatars that you make on social media or on Wii, those little me avatars. That's what the human body is. It's simply an avatar for your energy. And the people around you are avatars. There's energies that control those bodies that you know as your parents, your loved ones, friends, family. And if the energy is energizing, then you have to look at the energy, controlling that body because the person's the energy. A person's an energy, not the body that you're oogling over because they could be a demon in that oogle. Remember, humans come in demon form. Your parents can be a demon. Your relationship, your partner can be a demon. Demons come in many forms, so you have to see what's up. Where do you come from? Axer, I'm in America currently, but my goal is to take this to Egypt. I want to take this live to Egypt. I want to take this live to Egypt. Because remember, dark and light forces are not what they think you are. Because you remember, the people around you, they're part of the hologram. The people around you are avatars. They're avatars. You have to remember, humans are avatars. You are the only one in this experience. You are the only one in this experience. Don't hurt yourself for a damn avatar. Because best believe that energy that's in that avatar is going to do what it wants. And it's going to save itself before saving you. So don't. That's why I said don't try saving people. Save yourself. Get into your energy. Because remember, uh, those avatars you're trying to save could be a whole demon. That's why you arguing up and down, beefing with yourself, trying to keep the wrong people in your life. Friendships, relationships that long expired. You beefing with yourself. Let that shit go and cling to what's necessary. Remember, anytime you're getting into arguments or shit that's not going your way, that's because you're still dingling the past tinglings. Okay, memories give you blue balls. When it comes to memories, they give you blue balls, and not in a good way. When memories give you blue balls, they will have you missing some shit that you couldn't ejaculate to. And when your mind fucks you with these teaser trailers of what could have been, you end up thinking, well, maybe I should go back. But then you do, and it's, damn! Now I know why I had blue balls in the first place. What the fuck was I thinking fucking with your ass? You have to remember, just because you miss somebody, does not mean it's compatible with the current trajectory. Just because you miss something does not mean it's compatible. It ended for a reason. You departed from that season for a reason. Your limerence is simply you, um, your system adjusting to the changes. That's it. Because remember, you were used to putting your pickle in their peach for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, heck, even 2 seconds. That's enough to make someone go cuckoo. And as you're going cuckoo for this person, uh, you're actually riding on the high and dopamine you got from getting in the mattress, surface level conversations, and not realizing that this isn't something that's supposed to carry you for a lifetime. This isn't the connection you're looking for. Because remember, your dopamine gives you sensations that blur the lines between what's real and what's not. Your dopamine blurs the lines between what's real and what's not. And when it comes to connections, that's not something that can be reached with a dopamine high. It can't. It's lust, not love. It's lust, not love. Thank you for sharing the live. Dog, thank you for sharing the live. Yeah. So shout out to all the platforms streaming on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. So shout out to everybody, all my supporters, future supporters, etc. Um, you know, yeah, I got some. Oh my god. I got a bug infestation in my house, so I could feel some of them shit crawling on me right now. It's just, you live in a dirty city, so what can you expect? All these human cities are fucking dirty. So yeah, currently I got some fucking bugs in my house, the bed bug kind. So I'm trying to get rid of that fucking shit. So currently I can feel them on my face right now. It's not too cool. Um, but that being said, uh, follow what's for you. Are my ancestors haunting me through my FYP? Possibly. Lily, are you Egyptian? I'm black and Egyptian. I'm black and Egyptian. Um, I got shit going on. I got my past haunting my dreams currently, and I'm learning it as a lesson. Listen, when you get nightmares and hauntings, it's a sign to not do that shit again. Um, when your past is haunting you, it's because you did some shit that you haven't moved past yet, that you haven't reflected on and moved forward on. Because you shouldn't be having any nightmares, any worries, any memories over the past. When this shit is happening, it's because you're still adjusting. Your nervous system is still adjusting uh, to what happened before. So that's why you gotta be careful what you invite. The longer you invite some shit, the longer you may be on some shit. Because remember, if a situation comes to an end, uh, the longer you stayed in it, the longer it takes to heal from it. That's why Earth is dangerous. I mean, Earth has an endless supply of tinctures, entertainments, and distractions in the form of people, places, and things to help you forget about the outer realms. And you have to, you know, ask yourself, do I want to be distracted by these things? Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to Egypt. Damn, we're getting a lot of people from Egypt. I've noticed this. I've been getting a lot of people from Egypt in the chat. Shout out to Egypt. It's a beautiful place. The pyramids, you gotta check it out. The pyramids were built by aliens. Aliens built the pyramids. Those boulders were too big. Listen, those boulders on each pyramid, they're at least a few tons. There's no way a pulley would have created the pyramids. Because this planet is older than you think. It's billions of years old. It's billions of years old, way before humans walked this planet. It's way older. We've had aliens, other beings go in and out of Earth from other planets, um, and that's a perspective that's part of going into the higher realms. Uh, you have to recognize that it's not cheap. So going into the higher realms is not an easy endeavor. It's not an easy endeavor when we got reptilians and aliens wanting to shut down frequencies because it's a frequency. It's a channel. You got to ask yourself: do I want my channel, the magic channel, or basic cable? Earth is going to give you basic cable. That's as far as it goes. That's why it's not working for you. Earth offers basic cable, and it stays in a loop. That's what's up. Thank you, Diego, for stopping by. Thank you. Uh, Earth goes in a loop. Loop de loop, loop de loop, loop de loop. Same shit. Wake up, brush your stank breath, put some water on your face, and decide how you're gonna get your money every day. That's what we do here every day. And as you do this routine, um, ask yourself: is your routine maintaining your peace? Is your routine maintaining your peace? The purpose of your routines that you do here is to maintain your peace. So when you do leave here, you leave here whole and going where you want to go. So when you do this stuff, um, no wait, I got something speaking to me. The ether is telling me that there are experiences that I have not touched. The ether wants nothing on me. When the ether touches you, um, you have to consider uh, all the possibilities. You have to consider what has touched you and should it stop touching you. Because in the ether, you get a peek into what's in your dimension. The dimensions, they speak to me. The dimensions are waiting for you. The dimensions are waiting for you to touch them. You can only go as far as you want to go. Do you want to know the secrets? Do you want to know the mysteries? Do you want to know the history? Thank you for the sub, Diego. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Let me see. Ah, that's funny. Just talking to talk at this point. Jacob, that's what you do on the internet. You talk. Yes, ask any questions in the chat. Kingus123, what questions do you have? What questions do you have? Where's Egypt at? Oh, it's in Africa. Thank you, Rich Off Dead Presidents, for sharing the live. What's up, Miriam Amen? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, chat? Yeah, there's things speaking to me right now. Um, there's questions. There's the ether wants to move forward. It wants to relinquish the earth and open up a new door. Are you ready to step into the door? You gotta ask yourself, are you ready to step into the door? What does the ABCD dance mean? The ABCD dance was simply me rhyming manifestation. That's what it's ABCD. The purpose of the dance was to get me to think greater of myself. That's why I did the dance, to give me confidence to do this, to do L-Fro, the confidence to say fuck the world, and the confidence to see myself as a star, to see myself as a star, regardless of what people may say and perceive. That's why I say, fuck a job, you're a star. Fuck a job, you're a star. Fuck a job, you're a star. Remember that. That's how I started with the ABCD dance. Because there's no such thing as coincidences. To get manifestation going, it has to rhyme. Your steps have to rhyme. And when your steps aren't rhyming, there is no alignment. You are not Egyptian, if that's what you want to believe. No one's listening, but you're here. And technically, you did listen because you're here. So thank you for commenting. I want all kinds of comments, good, bad, uh, neutral, whatever it may be. That's right, that's the Millennium Puzzle. That's the Millennium Puzzle. The Pharaoh. I wasn't listening, but you're here. So clearly you're listening. I love the trolls. All press is good press. Remember, when you're creating content, all press is good press. regardless of what's being said. Because remember, that person could have easily scrolled past your live. They could have easily ignored what you're doing, but they decided to take time out of their day to comment. That's a compliment. It's three people, gang. Hey, that's three more than what it was when it was zero. It was three more than what it was when it was zero. I haven't seen them on my FYP for years. Follow my channel. You want to see the dance? Follow my channel. You want to see the dance? Follow my channel, bro. Yo, you want to see the chat? You want to see the dance? Follow my channel, bro. I know it should be getting patched up. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, this algorithm, these algorithms, they ain't no joke, bro. They be they be trying to stop a player. They be trying to stop a player. Yeah, everything I do is to promote L-Fro. Like this is my job. This is my goal. Be TikTok Creator of the Year. It's pretty straightforward. My goal is to be TikTok Creator of the Year. This is my job, doing the lives, content creation, doing the dance on my page. Um, make it do what it do. Uh, you finna build new pyramids? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm gonna build new pyramids. I wanna take this live to Egypt. I've never been to Egypt before, so I wanna take it there and say that I did it. Y'all witnessing history in the making. I'm making history right now. I'm making history right now. The ether says that history is a delusion. The ether, the Ouija board is saying that histories are a delusion. Histories come to the conclusion when you realize what's outside of Earth, when you realize the cosmos, then the Earth doesn't matter. Because the Earth doesn't matter. You have the cosmos. That's your gift. You have the stars. That's your gift. I'm in Egypt. Come and we build together. That's what's up. I'm gonna come to Egypt. That's my goal. Bring L-Fro to Egypt and you can witness the history. This is history in the making. This is how it starts. It starts with one person in the chat. It starts at one. Remember, everything starts at zero. Everything starts with the first step. Don't be humiliated that no one's in your chat box. Don't be humiliated that you got like 0 views or like 1 like. It had to start somewhere. It had to start somewhere. Name the pyramid L-Fro. I got my own pyramid. I got my own pyramid named L-Fro. My pyramid is on another planet that can't be seen with the naked eye. My pyramid is on another planet that cannot be seen with the naked eye. My pyramid, it's magical, it's mystical. It contains my sarcophagus. It contains my sarcophagus. Decked out in gold and chains. The universe demands recourse. Tumfara tinkiri, tinfara sinfiri, kombaba lendiri. Let the demons you hide be revealed. Because when you go to the cosmos, things are revealed in your dimension. Your dimension. You are a multi-dimensional being, and you need to make sure that everything's in equilibrium. Because when you're on Earth, Earth will have you believe delusions of yourself that are not you. And with these delusions comes demons. For every delusion you create, another demon has been grafted in your dimension. And that's what creates your ego. Your ego in spiritual terms is a demon. Has remember, you're multidimensional. Your thoughts attract entities. Your thoughts create beings that may not be you. It may not be you. That's why it's important to be true to you. Because when you're sad, depressed, not in alignment, that's because you've agreed to the terms and conditions of a demon. And the demon needs to use you as a host. Yes, you could drop any questions on the chat. Any questions, put it on the chat. Any questions, put it on the chat. Um, yes, I'm Egyptian. I'm black and Egyptian. Are you drunk? I'm tipsy. I had some Zal today, so I'm tipsy. Um, yeah, I'm all about celebrating. So if you want to drink, get your drink on. You want to smoke, get your smoke on. Cause I smoked today. I had like 2 blunts today. Shit, might puff a little something on the live. To be honest, I like to puff, bro. Meow. For us, Browns did that. I have a cat. I have a cat. I mean, it doesn't like to go on camera though. So what are you gonna do? Meow. Yeah. At the end of the day, Earth is entertainment. It's not. Earth is not meant to be taken seriously, despite the crazy shit that goes on this ghetto planet. Earth is entertainment. At the end of the day, it's a temporary visit, and you move on. You move on, and that's the tough part for humans. Because Earth is hard for humans because we don't want to accept that it's temporary. It's a visit. You come in and then you leave. It's a truck stop. It's a truck stop because you are infinite and this is finite. It's a truck stop. Don't get attached to the truck stop. See the truck stop for what it is. When you get attached to the truck stop, you hold yourself back. You hold yourself back. Earth is a truck stop. You hold yourself back when you get attached to the truck stop. The people around you, they're just part of the truck stop. They're not permanent fixtures. So don't be disappointed when someone leaves your life. Don't be disappointed when someone disses you. Because remember, everyone is temporary, including the ones we call our loved ones. They're all temporary. They are all temporary. Do you believe in conspiracy theories? Of course. That's how I started this channel. I believe reptilian aliens control Earth and use our energy um, to get drunk off of and to sustain their planet. Because you have infinite energy, and when you feel drained and tired, it's because demonic forces are sapping that energy out of you. And to do that, they have to have you go against yourself. Because this is a hologram. That's what I believe. Personally, this is a hologram. It's a hologram. The people, places, and things are all the hologram. Earth is a hologram. It's not meant to be taken seriously. The reason why you take this seriously is because you're attached to the body. And the reason why you're scared is because you need to shelter and feed this body. Because in most cases, most of us, we're not adapted to the environment. We're not adapted to the conditions of the planet. So if you don't know how to hunt, make your own shelter, you're gonna have to make some money and figure out how to navigate it with that. And it's very easy to get caught up in this experience because it's very immersive. It tingles all parts of your soul where you think that inserting your purple pickle into someone else's peaches is what you need to do. Where you think that a missed car payment uh, can give you a heart attack, a missed bill payment can put you in the hospital. It's that powerful. Remember, the bill is still a hologram. The bill, look, when you get these bills in the mail, that's a hologram you're staring at. It's not real. It's a hologram. Oh shit, I misread. Hologram. You're stressed out about sheltering this body because it's this fucking body that makes things dangerous. You know, someone can grab you and, you know, versus shape shifting aliens where they can just shift out of this planet, shift back into energy out of the physical form. Because if we were shapeshifters, um, yeah, if we were shapeshifters, uh, you wouldn't have to find a place to stay. You can just fly out of here and do your thing. Shapeshifters can shift out of physical form and go back into their energy, walk through walls and all this stuff. Shapeshifters don't need food for substance. So shapeshifters do. When bamboo. 6'7". Damn, that sucks. I got hit with a restriction. It's not wild. Bro, I stay getting hit with restrictions. It's so fucking annoying, bro. What are you gonna do? Bro. Um yeah, it takes yeah. I just go with it at this point and just I'm just kinda like whatever. What are you gonna do? Like, yeah, yeah. Um Having to be careful on these apps is it's very hard for me. It's very hard for me. That's why I've just kind of accepted like fuck it. I'm gonna just say what I say. I mean, if it rubs motherfuckers the wrong way, then so be it. It's just that's just it is what it is. What it is. It's a hologram. There's no point in me stressing out over a digital app. These digital apps and all this shit. It's just there's no point. That's why I needed to. I cooled off today. Um, I had to cool off today because I was just like, you know what, this shit is a hologram, and I have to just accept the punches, roll with the punches. And I know that's hard for the ego when you want to control shit, when you want things to go your way, even when they don't go your way. Um, but you know, you have to take a chill pill. How do you manifest for Pharaoh? Your vibration has to be in alignment. You have to be the person capable of manifesting what you want. That's how it manifests. I'm working on becoming the person, finally working, you know, finally being the person capable of manifesting. Because again, hard work, the universe doesn't reward you with hard work. It rewards you with alignment, being the person capable of manifesting it. That's why hard work alone doesn't work. You could work hard on some shit and see no results. You can work hard on some shit and see no results. You have to be the, and also you got to do it within the time frame. This is another thing too. When things aren't manifesting, it can take years for things to open back up to you. That's why it's important to strike while the iron is hot. When you're trying to manifest, it's about the timing And are you the person capable of manifesting? Is it the timing? And are you the person capable of manifesting it? Because when you don't become the person capable of manifesting what you want, it won't happen. And if you don't do it on time, when you do figure some shit out, it can be years until another opportunity presents itself. It can be years because um, you didn't strike the timing for a reason. You ignored it, and when you've ignored what you're supposed to do for a certain period, it could, you know, the universe could say, "Fuck it, you ain't getting shit," and then you're like, "What the fuck?" Especially an Earth planet where you can't control the conditions of Earth. You can't control the conditions of Earth. What you can control is how you manifest in your personal life. You have to be the person capable of manifesting, and the window of within the window of opportunity, because each opportunity has a certain window, and the longer you stay being fake to yourself, the longer you stay on bullshit gigs that don't serve you, the more opportunities go out the window. The more opportunities go out the window. That's why it's important to strike while the iron is hot. So that's the key to locking. Key to locking in is making sure there's no distractions and being the person capable of manifesting. Because once you become the person capable of manifesting it, it will happen. You won't backtrack. You won't diss yourself. Why is bro locked in? I gotta lock in, bro. My bills are stacking, bro. My bills are stacking, and I'm low on bread. So I have to make some shit happen. I have to make some shit happen. So also, I've blown past opportunities to go viral. So I have to log in. Like I've literally blown past opportunities to make shit happen, and that's one of my biggest regrets in life. Like key opportunities, especially when you know you're transitioning out of a job. Like again, I haven't held a job since I first did multiple choice, and for me to go back to a job makes no sense, especially when you know you have the potential. When you know you have the potential to create some life changing shit, you don't go back to what was working. You don't go back to what was blocking it. I've blown past opportunities, and for me at this point in my life, um, a job is impossible. I can't do that because you know how painful it is where you had a chance and you said no to all the opportunities and you decide to go back to the same place that wasn't working, like a job, a dead end gig. That's painful. That's very painful. Because it's one and look, listen, it's one thing you committed to the job from the jump and you didn't try some shit. But when you tried some shit and there were opportunities and you know there were opportunities and you fucked it up because you were in your head, because you doubted yourself, because of reasons exclusive to you, you don't let that shit go. You don't, especially when it comes to this job market shit, when you know the job market is cooked and to be able to transition from a job to your own gig is the biggest blessing. And to fumble that, that's painful. That's a lot of regret. Like for me personally, I can't let it go out like that. Like I said, I'll do this shit from the street if I have to. This is just I can't go back to a jail. I couldn't if I wanted to. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Let me see. Do not live to survive. Live a job cannot provide your fulfillment. Exactly. There's no, like I said, when something isn't working, there's no point in going back to it, even if it does pay bills temporarily. Because you have bills paid temporarily, but you'll still be in a place that wasn't working. And when you come to that realization that it wasn't working to begin with, regardless of the payoff, then you have to question the pay you're getting. Because it's not easy. Because when you want a high paying salary, you have to be willing to leave a place to get it. You have to be willing because remember you can't force an employer. to give you the salary you think you deserve. When they're making it very clear that they're not going to give you that salary, believe them the first time and move on to the other place. Like, and when you know when a situation isn't working, why stay there? It's a waste of time. That's why I'm saying going for the money you think you deserve requires leaving when you know it doesn't serve you. That's why most people don't make millions of dollars, because most people are scared to take the risks and sacrifices to make that kind of money. And it starts with saying, "This place is trash. I'm gonna go somewhere else." You have to, otherwise you stay making trash money, and you know you're stagnating your own income. That's why more people are job hopping, and I respect that. I respect hopping when it's not paying enough because you have no choice. You have no choice. Listen, when someone tells you, "I'm only going to give you this certain amount," you believe them the first time. Don't lie to yourself thinking that if I just go harder for a bit, they'll give me the goods. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't stay because then you start developing Stockholm syndrome for an abusive relationship that isn't going to work in your favor. It's not going to work in your favor. Um, they told you we're only going to give you this amount of money. Why didn't you believe them the first time? You develop Stockholm syndrome when you choose to play dumb to the situation you signed up for. You develop Stockholm syndrome when you don't realize that for you pain is pleasure. And dead end situations are situations that are not going to change for the better. And this includes a career you don't like. This includes an employer. You have to learn that when it comes to income, you have to be willing to jump ship when life is telling you you deserve more, and it's not going to happen here. And I know some people go, well, the economy isn't good enough. That doesn't fucking matter. That doesn't matter, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you use the economy as an excuse to not take a chance on higher income, you actually build resentment and hurt yourself in the long run. Because remember, the longer you stay at a place that isn't going to up the pay, the less opportunities you're going to get and the worse it's going to be for you. Because you can choose to stay out of fear, but you're not making the money you know you deserve. And you got to ask yourself, how long am I going? And then this is another thing too. Things change. There's only so long you could stay at a gig that's not giving you what you want. Remember, there's only so long you could stay in a gig that's not giving you what you want. So you got to ask yourself, am I really going to stay here longer than I should? Again, staying with an employer that's not giving you the money you deserve is like staying in a relationship that's long expired. You wouldn't stay in a relationship, well, hopefully, you wouldn't stay in a relationship that's clearly not going nowhere. So why would you stay with an employer that's not giving you the lifestyle you think you deserve? You don't make it to six figures staying at places that are barely paying you past 50K. That's like, you don't make seven figures staying at dead end gigs. Because remember, when an employer tells you, "I'm only going to give you this amount of money, I'm not going to give you no promotions or any increases that you want to see," believe them the first time. A lot of times we'll convince ourselves, "Oh, maybe if I just work hard enough, they'll fork." They're not going to fork it over. They told you the first time. That's how you stay stuck year after year after year at a place that you knew wasn't going to work for you. You knew. That's why I quit my last job. I quit that shit because I knew I wasn't going to give me the amount I want. Every 6 months, a raise. I don't have that time, especially if we're starting. It was starting at $18 an hour, and that's good if you like, you need some play money. But when it comes to paying some serious bills like rent and all that stuff, you need a serious income. Not no damn $18 an hour. You need a serious income. And you have to ask yourself, no, you need a serious income If this gig isn't bringing you the serious income, then you have to leave eventually. You gotta leave eventually and figure out another way. Because remember, times change. Times change. And at some point you gotta leave a dead end gig. Remember, a dead end gig means there is no progress. There is no progress. You're not seeing promotions every minimum 6 to 12 months, then you have to move on to the next one. You should be getting, because what are you there for? If it's not progressing your career, what are you there for? This is part of using the magic and having foresight. You know when you're staying at a place longer than you should. You know that you deserve better. The ether has revealed that you deserve better. Get better. You deserve better. Don't wait. At the end of the day, you look out for you. No one's gonna look out for you like you do. No one is gonna look out for your interests unless you look out for your interests. That's how it works. Because remember, when it comes to entrusting someone else with your financial situation, that person you're entrusting your money to is not gonna give a shit about it like you do. And that's part of why you can't trust anyone with your finances. That's too much trust. And remember, that person is still going to look out for themselves before they look out for you at the end of the day. That's how humans work. And that's how humans are supposed to work. Why would someone else put their interest above yours? So when you choose to stay at gigs, at dead end jobs, gigs and stuff that isn't, that's a toss up. It's because you don't want to admit that you trusted the wrong motherfuckers. Remember, to give someone years of your time, that requires trust. That requires trust. You got to ask yourself, who are you trusting? Your employer is not trustworthy. Your employer is a business, they're not your friend. Your employer is a business, not your friend. It's very easy to look at your employer as your friend when your employer is giving you benefits. It's very easy to overlook the bullshit when they're giving you benefits. And it's very easy to stay there for 5, 10, 15 years when the benefits are coming in. It's very easy. It's very easy. That's why the new generation is like, what the fuck? Where's my benefits? That was temporary. There's a reason why the new generation is saying, what the fuck? I need to get paid benefits. I want a stable income. In this day and age, you need to be creative with a stable income. That basic 40-hour shit is dead. That's not happening. You need to get creative with your income, especially now more than ever. That's why you got to ask yourself: do I want to trust my finances in the hands of a company? That to me, that's too much trust. That's too much trust. That's why you should have your own business and everything. Because at the end of the day, the company's company. They got to look out for their balance sheets and quarter twos and shit. And if you're not protecting your economy, because you are an economy, in the astronomy, you are an economy. And your choices and decisions create your economy. Is your economy based on you or someone else? You are an economy, remember. Is it based on you or someone else? When it's based on someone else, it's in trouble. Because that someone else is deciding your economy. That someone else is deciding. Again, you're an economy. You need to be careful with who you entrust with your economy. I trust myself with my economy. I don't trust people with my economy. It won't work. It'll bust your ass. It will bust your ass. Listen, this shit will bust your ass into kingdom come. And you need to have resiliency to do this. You have to have resiliency. To be on earth, you have to have resiliency. To get the finances you want when you're not a nepo baby, that requires resiliency. It requires believing even when you have doubt. even in the face of mounting pressures. Because remember, you don't. Most people don't get six figures for a reason. Most people aren't actively pursuing six figures, and part of actively pursuing six, seven figures, six, seven, is leaving when it's not leading to that. Remember, if you ain't getting constant promotions every 6 to 12 months, it's time to leave. That's the limit, in my opinion. 6 to 12 months. Every year minimum. Listen, maximum a year. If you haven't gotten a promotion the past year, then it's time to leave. You should be getting promotions every year. Every year. And I'll argue every 6 to 12 months. 6 being the minimum, 12 being the maximum. If you've gone a full year without a single promotion, then you need to pack your shit and leave. A year is too long. Every year it should be up, 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 up. If your income isn't going up every year, something's wrong. And never go backwards. Because another thing will happen is you'll get the income you want. Some shit happens and then you accept half that. No, don't. No. You don't do that either. Because again, you were getting paid this. Why would you go back to half? That's why it's important. Don't be desperate. That's another thing too to maintaining six, seven figures. You can't be desperate. Do not let your desperation have you settle, especially if you were making six, seven figures before. Because some people make six, seven figures, uh, lose the job, and then they get another gig that's half that. Never do that, because then all the work you did to get to that six figures and up, was all for nothing. Remember, your income is supposed to be progressing every year. When it's not progressing, then the gig where you're getting your income needs to change. The gig where you're getting your income needs to change. Again, you need to be getting your income needs to be progressing minimum 6 months, maximum 12 months, 6 to 12 months. You have to keep that schedule. That's part of, you want to get the income where you want with vacations. You have to stay on that. Don't settle. It's very easy to settle when bills are mounting and there's pressure, but you can't do that. Because remember, when your income dips, you send out a signal to the universe that you don't deserve more. And also, um, when your income dips, uh, you're more likely to move on to the next gig that's going to be around that lower range. Because remember, you already allowed your income to dip the first time by accepting a shitty offer. If you accepted the first shitty offer, you're more likely to accept the second shitty offer, the third shitty offer. That's why you never decrease your wage. Never decrease your demanding salary. Because remember, you are demanding it at the end of the day. You are negotiating. When you come to the table and you've been hired, at the end of the day, you agree to that salary. Even if it's terrible, you agree to it. Because remember, these are like contracts. Because what you don't understand is in entrepreneurship, you are generating your own revenue and gathering contracts. When you choose to be a worker, you're still being signed based on contract. That's why you're signing the W-2. You're signing the onloading papers. They have you on contract saying you agree to this wage. That's why you have to be careful with these contracts. Each job you take is a contract. Do you want to agree to the contract or not? And don't agree to a shitty contract because your bills are mounting. Because then you get fucked in the end and you'll actually resent yourself later. Because remember, what's the point of waking up to traffic and the stupid alarm clock and your income isn't progressing as you age? Because remember, you still got to retire. Retirement's not cheap. Retirement is not cheap. Retirement is not cheap. These are all things to consider. You need at least seven figures to live comfortably in retirement. If you plan on living long into your 70s and 80s, you need at least $1 million. I said it, at least $1 million. It costs. It costs. Yeah. It costs to be the boss. It costs to be the boss. Oh, you have to remember, it costs to be the boss. It's about living your best life. And living your best life requires being the person to do it. And the person to do it is not going to accept less. The person that's going to manifest the money you want is not going to accept less. Because who you are that was making 50K and below versus who you are making six, seven figures are two completely different people. The person that settled for 50K and below settled. The person making six, seven figures, they're not settling. You have to be, when it comes to demanding and commanding a higher salary, you have to be aggressive with that shit. You're not aggressive, it's not gonna happen. No one's just gonna drop six, seven bands on your lap. You need to be aggressive about it. Because trust, if the world could pay you 5 cents on the dollar, it would. It would. That's why you have to be aggressive. You know, if the world can get you for 5 cents an hour, it would do that. It would. Don't fool yourself. Do not fool yourself. That's why you have to have self esteem. When it comes to commanding a higher salary, it's about self esteem. Your low self esteem wants to say, fuck it, take any contract. And that opens up a door to lack. It's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. The contracts you choose, the people you work under, that's all spiritual decisions. That's all spiritual. So what are you going to do? Are you going to accept? You're going to accept this or this. You have to be honest with yourself. What salary range do you want to command? What salary range do you want to command? I want seven figures. Me personally, I want millions. I said I want millions. I don't even want six figures. I want millions. Because I want to live comfortable. I want to be able to take years on vacation. 2 weeks ain't enough for me. Because the lifestyle you want is a comfortable lifestyle. The more you want a comfortable lifestyle, the more income you need to make. That's why you have to set goals for yourself. When it comes to manifesting, you have to set goals for yourself. I'm going to get pay raises every 6 to 12 months. I'm only going to accept gigs that facilitate me having time to relax. I'm not going to accept only 2 weeks vacation time. These are all tangibles that you need to enact for it to manifest. You have to enact it. Because remember, the more you demand, the more is expected of you. The more you demand better situations, more abundance, the more is expected of you. Because remember, who you were making 50K and below is a completely different person that's making six, seven figures, especially if you hit seven figures. Completely different thinking. And your personal life decides the finances you'll make. So you got to use the magic. Simfara Tungara, Timfiri Tangara. The universe wonders, what kind of salary do you want to command? The universe wonders, when are you going to see your potential? You have the potential for seven figures. You must believe in that. You have to. I know it sounds far-fetched where you're like, what do you mean I can make millions of dollars? That's crazy. Only like Chris Brown or Kai Cenat can make $1 million. And that's not true. That's your doubt. That's the old version of you that's accustomed to settling. Don't listen to that shit. And when you start speaking abundance into existence, settling starts looking like gonorrhea and chlamydia. Like when you get accustomed to never settling, starts looking like a terminal disease that you don't want no parts of. Remember, settling is common. Most people settle in their lives, whether it's their dating lives, financial lives. They settle. And when you settle in your personal life, you'll inevitably settle in your careers, in your money and income. Remember, your personal life What you do in your personal life determines the money you make. And when you've already settled in your personal life, you're gonna settle in your career. You're already settled in your personal life. That's why you gotta ask yourself, how much do you want peace? Peace is priceless. Peace requires sacrifice. Peace requires opening new doors. When you open a door, you open a reality. You don't like your reality? Change it. 6 to 12 months, promotions. If I go a year without a promotion, I'm leaving and I'm going to the next gig. And I'm not going to accept lower than my previous salary. That makes no fucking sense. When you choose to lower yourself to your previous salary, that's because you have doubts of where you're going right now. Because remember, and this is the dangerous part. The dangerous part of accepting a lower salary is that if you've already done it the first time, you allowed it the first time, what's to say it won't happen to you the second, third, fourth, fifth time? You already accepted a gig that's paying half of what you usually make. What's to say that won't happen to you again? Where it goes even lower and lower. That's why I said you don't go backwards. You're not supposed to go backwards on the money you make. Never go backwards on the money you make. That's going backwards in life. It's all about progression, regardless of your fears. The universe deemed it so. Remember, you're abundant. You're a superstar. You're supposed to be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Why are you choosing to be the Dusty on Skid Row? Why are you choosing to be the Dusty on Skid Row when you are meant to be the star on the Walk of Fame? You're a star. Oh, you're being selfish and self-absorbed. The only thing you can absorb in this life is yourself. Why wouldn't you be self-absorbed? The only thing you could absorb in this life is yourself. Why wouldn't you be self-absorbed? That's the only thing you got. Anyone that called you self-absorbed, they're not going to have your back when bills are mounting. They're not going to have your back when you're facing the streets. They're not going to have your back when you're dying. That's reality. You're supposed to be self-absorbed. The only thing you absorb in this life is yourself. Your life is literally a reflection of yourself. You're not absorbing yourself. You're absorbing someone else that ain't you. What are you absorbing? There's people right now that have talent upon talent and they're settling. So the world never hears it. It's more common than you think. And so you have to decide, what do I deserve? What do you deserve? Well, you can determine that. No one else can determine what you deserve. It's in the heart of the cards. The tarot deck is you. The tarot deck is you. Are you working with a blessed deck or some bullshit that's rigged? Because when it's rigged, that means the entire deck has to be thrown out. When it's rigged, that means the entire deck has to be thrown out. And never be afraid to flush the entire deck. Sometimes you gotta flush the entire deck to see something new. Sometimes you gotta flush the entire deck to see something new. And it's not very easy when you've stood in the history for years after years after years after years. That's why the mysteries plague man. That's why the histories plague man. Staying stuck in cycles, not going anywhere, defaulting between pain and pleasure to have you believe you went somewhere. You didn't go nowhere, bitch. You're still right here. The higher realms are waiting for you to come to this realization. I mean, if you need to go to an insane asylum, go to an insane asylum. Shit, when I went to the insane asylum, I didn't have to think about no bills. It gave me gave me some time to think about where I want to go. Where is this leading to? So don't be ashamed to go into the loony house. Listen, when you got the loony house, you ain't got nothing but time. You ain't got nothing but time to think about what you're doing. So never be ashamed of the loony house. When you in the loony house, you ain't got nothing but time to think about, bro. But listen, this internet, phone, and all this TV, it's very easy to distract yourself from life itself. When you ain't got access to distractions, you're raw dog in life. When you raw dog in life, that's how the doorway opens. When you raw dog life, that's how the doorway opens because demons don't want you to raw dog life. Uh, because when you raw dog life, you don't need distractions, you don't need people, you don't need places to feel whole, you don't need external things to feel whole. When you're not accustomed to raw dog in life, that creates attachments and dependency issues because attachments are things that you depend on. Attachments are things you grab to and identify with and say, "This is me." That's how you identify with your ex. You identify with your parents. You identify with your fake bestie. Everything you do, you're saying that's me, and you gotta ask yourself, is that you? Is that you, or are you just trolling? Because a lot of times it be demons trolling us, and we don't even know it. Remember, a demon needs you um, to be disconnected. According to the Ouija board, these entities come from the nether realms, negative sources that feast upon souls. Tungwaba Shingara Tinkiri. You are the source, and negative energies want you to disconnect from your source. Remember, when you're disconnected from your source, uh, you're going to look for a replacement because you need something to deal with the agony of disconnection. That's where the wrong relationships come in, the wrong friendships come in, the wrong habits come in. Because once you connect to the source, to other frequencies, you no longer need to be dependent. You don't need to be attached. It's all this anxiousness, this attachment, dependency. It's all because you're not dependent on your energy. You're not dependent on you for thriving, for success, for manifesting. Life is about manifesting the person capable of manifesting what you want. When you manifest the person that you're meant to be, it all comes together. You won't ever have to worry about a bill. You won't have to worry about a job. You won't have to worry about none of these things. Because when you worry about all these things, it's because you're on the wrong journey. You're on the wrong journey. You're supposed to be making millions of dollars. All this worrying that's fucking going on is because you're on the wrong journey that isn't in alignment with you. Anxiety, fear, all this stuff is coming from making decisions that don't serve you. And what keeps you in the anxiety, fear is because you still believe it's gonna serve me. It's still gonna serve me. That's what you want to believe. That's what your history has helped you been accustomed to. Because your history is very interesting. Your history encompasses everything that blocked you. Your history spans years, starting in childhood. Because you're either manifesting or you're not. There's no in between. Stagnation when you can't face it, you stagnate anyway because there's no in between. Remember, there's no in between. You're either manifesting or you're not. You're not manifesting. There's something you're sending out that needs to be corrected, regardless of circumstance. You don't control what parents you are born into, but you can decide for yourself where you want to go. Just because your parents grew up dusty does not mean you need to collect in your pantry. Just because your parents are dusty does not mean you need to collect the dust bunnies in your pantry. Stop collecting your parents' shit. Your parents are in some shit for a reason. Stop collecting from them. Because when you collect from your parents, you haven't learned yet on how to be who you are without them. Because who you are without them is part of who you are. Your parents had their place and their thing. You got your own place and thing. And following your parents' assignment is how you assign yourself to the wrong realm, to another realm, to some bullshit that's not working. And parents put a hold on us because they're the first trusted sources of information, and those first trusted sources of information have to be questioned. Your parents and your parents, they created your body, not you as a person. Your parents created your body, not you as a person. Because when two people have sex, what comes out is a body containing an energy. Your parents didn't create the energy part, they created the body that holds your energy. Your parents didn't make you who you are, they made the body that contains your energy. Once you realize that, then you start looking at it differently because your energy is self fulfilling. Your energy is designed to sustain itself. Oh, shit. Yeah, your energy can sustain itself. And that sounds crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, it can sustain itself where it doesn't need no one. You don't need people, places, things, addictions, dependencies, codependencies, ancient attachments. You don't need none of the anxious attachments. You don't need none of those things. Okay? I'm telling you right now, you don't need none of this shit that most of us want to depend on. Remember, the earth is a temporary experience. It's not meant to be. Uh, you're not meant to depend on Earth. You're not meant to. You're not meant to depend on things that you will eventually leave behind anyway. Okay. You're not meant to depend on things that you're going to leave behind anyway. You're gonna leave this shit behind. Stop trying to depend on it. For what? I gotta depend on it. I need it. Without it, I'll be nothing. And when you tell yourself that without something you'll be nothing, then you lost sight of the life in you. Because the life in you is something. The life in you is something. The life in you is something. Remember that. You are that something, not the other way around. The life in you is something. But I need something. I need it. One man move. Oh, wow. I go. Yeah. The life in you is something, and it doesn't depend on anybody. It doesn't depend on anyone or anything. You don't need to depend on shit. Okay? Remember that. You don't need to depend on shit to get it popping. You don't need to depend on anything to get it popping. You don't need to depend on anything to get it popping. I'm gonna say it to you again. You don't need to depend on anything to get it popping. Enjoy yourself. That's what's up. Yeah, your dreams are a gateway to higher realms. Your dreams tell you that this is a hologram. Because your dreams take you to another place. Your dreams take you to another place. You have to realize that. They take you to another place. Your dependencies, earthly lifestyle, you use that to replace what you already had. Because whatever you had when you first came here, that's what you leave with. So some motherfuckers be leaving with baby mama drama, uh, issues, things that haven't been addressed. Um, you don't want to leave this planet with that shit. That's some toxic shit. That's the toxic shit you take with you. Let that shit go. Stop mulling over some shit in the past. Okay, because it's temporary. It's temporary. Real talk. I'll just take it. The pharaoh needs to sit on his toilet and take a dookie. So yeah, going into these other realms is temporary. It's temporary because once you get into the magic, you don't need the earthly. Um, yeah, I'm from Egypt. Well, I'm not from Egypt, but yeah, I'm part Egyptian. Uh, yeah, yeah. On this path to being a wizard, it's mystical. Uh, it's different. Uh, it can be danger. It can be dangerous as well, um, because you realize, oh shit, it can be dangerous. You might stumble upon some shit that'll fuck your head up. Because remember, when you're accustomed to settling, um, depending on how you settled, unraveling it can be very a sensitive thing. It can be a sensitive thing. That's why people go to mental hospitals. That's why people develop habits that can like I'll give you an example. Smoking tobacco, smoking cigarettes. Like we know it's bad. We know it's bad. The cigarettes taste bad, in my opinion. You know it's bad, but because of the pain that you get off the cigarette, you say fuck it. It's worth whatever comes with it, and uh, that's what happens when You need something to deal with something else where you'll take the bad that comes with it, even when it has the warning label on the box. Like the carton of cigarettes is clearly saying this shit has tobacco, it has I mean, it can give you cancer, it can give you some bullshit. Be careful. You're at your own risk. And you look at that bitch and you're like, man, I need some relief. And you don't give a fuck. So that's like Earth will have you do that. That's why people go back into situationships, um, places, people that don't serve them because they're like, well, I see there's a warning label. There's a warning label on this person, and fuck it. And that fuck it uh, can come with a nasty demon. It can come with a ghost, a goblin that can haunt you into your dreams, where like you find yourself in the mental hospital because you've attached to it. You find yourself dazed, or probably taking like a few blunts back, a few drinks back. It happens because you say, this has been my life. How do I move from that? This has been my life. How do I? That's why you have to be careful. What do you consider your life? Remember, the goal is your best life. You can't live your best life if you're not being honest with the current timeline. Because living your best life is a question of what's your current timeline. Um, that's why I said I want to be that unemployed friend. We all want to be that unemployed friend. Because again, the goal is to be your best life. Being unemployed is the goal. And being unemployed is everyone's goal. Because when you're retired, you're unemployed. When you're retired, you're unemployed. We forget that. When you're retired, you're unemployed. So by your definition, you want to be unemployed. You would. What do you think retirement is? It's literally being unemployed, not showing up. You want to be unemployed with millions. You want to be unemployed while still living your best years. Because being young and working a gig that you don't like is a waste of your youth. It's a waste of your 20s. Go for some shit that's going to make you unemployed faster. Being retired is the same thing as being unemployed. Like you don't think it's like you separate it from being unemployed because you said, well, I gave 30, 40 years. Ha ha ha. Yeah. And that's your ego. Because your ego will have you try to prove points to people that don't give a shit about you. You'll feel bad because you don't want to commit to a gig for 30, 40 years. And that's common sense. You don't commit to a gig for 30, 40 years. If that gig isn't leading to your best life, why would you give it that kind of time? If that gig isn't facilitating your best life, why would you give it that kind of time? Why would you give it that kind of attention? Whatever you give your attention to, that's what you're going to see in your soul. That's where your attention went. Where's your attention going to? Some people's intention is going to the wrong people, believing they're the one. They're going to be the one to free you from your own stresses. No one can free you from your own stresses. Only you can do that. No one can free you uh, from something that you need freedom from because you put yourself in the first place. Anyway, you're saying I need freedom from something. I need to feel something. And it's like, well, the issue's you. You're the one that needs to feel it. No one's gonna induce. How's someone else gonna induce a feeling that only you feel? I know, oh, he makes me feel this certain way. Like, no, then you gotta ask yourself, what are you feeling? Because you could be feeling a lot of shit that's just shit. Because a lot of times, too, this is another way that we convince ourselves that we need someone to come and help us fix our own shit. We'll tell ourselves that this person is making me feel better about myself. And when you're saying this person's making me feel better about myself, that means that there was something shitty to begin with. Because you should already be better upon showing up. You should be better upon showing up. No one is supposed to make you feel better about yourself. That don't make no sense. You're supposed to already show up whole. Uh, what What do you mean better about it? And when we say better about it, our tone, we'll say it in our tone that we wasn't better before this person. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, nah, that's everything around you is supposed to. Um, Everything around you is supposed to enhance you. It's supposed to enhance your experience on these planes, and that's before anyone walks through the door. Your experience should already be enhanced before anyone walks through the door. Because again, you're gonna be feeling stuff, but uh, what is the feeling? Because we'll put vague statements on shit that's just shit. Again, we'll put vague statements on some shit that's just some shit. It's part of that's how you become a wizard. That's how you become magical. You made yourself feel some kind of way. You made yourself feel like a superstar. When you're a superstar, uh, you're you're not gonna keep around anything that takes away from being a superstar, regardless of the memories, the attachments, uh, especially in our youth. Your youth should be you collaborating with the higher realms, getting what you want. What you want? Because you want it. Like you you want the higher realms. You want the other realms. This earth realm is limited. You can't fly through walls and travel dimensions and cross time barriers on earth. You can't do that. You gotta I mean you gotta pay a damn you gotta fill up the gas tank just to move like 5 miles in this bitch. You gotta pay fucking American Airlines and Southwest France or Japan Air just to go from one side of the earth to the other. In the other dimensions, you can do that with your spirit. You can do that with your spirit. So that's why survival mode, like, what are you trying to survive? This shit's temporary, bro. You ain't gonna be here forever. Why are you trying to be in survival mode for what? Survival mode is you panicking, heavy breathing. It's like no wonder you going back to that situation shit. You went to that situation shit because you was panicking in survival mode. Listen, survival mode will have you fucking asking the damn lion what's for breakfast. You'll be fucking you'll sleep in bed with like a pack of grizzly bears. Thinking they ain't gonna turn your ass into fucking spicy salmon sushi. Like, I'll tell you, these spells are crazy. Listen, these spells are crazy. It starts with you. These spells, again, you put yourself in this situation. Uh you decide the magic. You decide the magic. Remember, you are the magic. Magic starts with you. Your spells, you're constantly casting spells. Or you casting these spells with intent. Because once you start casting spells with intent, shit starts looking different. When you just doing whatever shit, anxiety happens. Doing whatever shit, bro. Like, trust, bro. I just want to chill, bro. We're professional vibers. You're meant to be an unemployed friend, a professional viber. Like, just don't deny it. And the goal is to be unemployed. Retirement is unemployment, bro. Don't get this shit confused. Your retirement is unemployment. You want to be that unemployed friend. That's the goal. That's the goal. Your track isn't leading you to that goal. Uh, then switch. Switch lanes. Switch lanes. It has to lead to, you gotta remember, it has to lead to unemployment. Your goal needs to lead to unemployment. You employed after fucking 20 years, something's wrong. I don't want to fucking be employed after fucking 20 years. Fuck that shit, bro. I want to be retired, chilling, um, unemployed. Retirement is unemployment. And fuck out of here, bro. You, Chelsea, if you want, listen, these people that tell you you lazy and shit, if they was to win the lotto tomorrow, um, they would be here in the magic. They would have left. If everyone was to win the lotto tomorrow, you wouldn't see anyone on your shit. No one would be covering shit. Wouldn't even give 2 weeks. Wouldn't even give 2 weeks. And this will be the so-called, this will be your parents saying, oh, get that JOB, bro. You give them some fucking lotto money. You're like, man, I'm off this trip, bitch. I thought you liked your job. Nah, I was lying. I was just trying to prove some shit. My ego. Okay, motherfuckers will say some shit just to prove some shit. Motherfuckers will say some shit just to prove some shit. Just to prove it. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing, like, even the point they're trying to prove, like, they won't even support it personally. In their heart, they know they don't support it, but that ego, the ego is powerful. I'm telling you, it will have you making arguments that you don't even agree with. Okay, like I said, give any of these motherfuckers that tell you, oh, you a lazy bitch and all this shit, bro. I drop a fucking 100 racks, 1,000 racks. I dropped 1,000 racks, tax free on the lottery, tax free 1,000 racks. You ain't going back. You gonna tell your boss, kiss my ass, bitch. I got the lottery. I'm out, bro. I'm out. That's how you know people shaming you for being lazy and shit. Like, bro, stop talking, man. I know what you would do with lotto money. We all want that lottery money. So you need to figure out how to generate lottery money yourself. That's the key, bro. That's the key, lottery money. That has to be a goal. That's what you have to set up tangibles. You have to set up tangibles. My income didn't go up the past year, then I need to change gigs. You ain't helping me towards reaching my goal. Because again, you should already be retired by like 40, 50. By 40, 50 years old maximum, you should be retired. And I'm almost 60, 65, and you're still trying to fucking be cashier at the Walgreens. Nah, bitch. Then something's wrong. Like, no. The 30 years at the same place, 20, 30 years. I'm gonna tell you how you stay 20, 30 years at the same place. You get too comfortable settling. Look, listen, 50K, 60K is nice, but you want some serious income, you gotta say fuck that shit. I need more than 50, 60K. That's not enough. That's not enough. For living your best life, you know damn well you don't need more than that. Don't settle for it. Because that's how you don't get the life you want. When you settle on 50, 60K, then you ain't gonna live your best life. Because you know that's not enough for your best life. You gotta be honest with yourself. So demand more. 50, 60, I don't know. I'm not gonna let you do the 50, 60K. Like me personally, I couldn't get comfortable on 50, 60K. That's not gonna give me my best life. And I know with those kind of offerings, that's like as high as it goes. Because this is another thing too our parents did. They would stay at places that was going to give them, 50, 60K. And they said, well, it's 50, 60K. That was enough to feed the family, which is fine, but that's not no generational shit. That's why you mad at your parents, because they said, nah, I'm going to stick with these 50, 60K. It's like, nah, you were supposed to make millions, generational wealth so that I could have a head start. That's the whole point. You're not, in my opinion, you ain't making generational money. You have no reason making babies and kids. Like, nah. Because the kid is gonna resent you. Because now the kid has to fucking make up for your bullshit decisions by making sure they're tired of what they need to do. And see, the reason why a lot of us is jealous of Neville babies is because the Neville babies walk to where you have to like leap. The Neville babies walk where you have to leap. And the Neville babies have extra cushion for bad decisions. Most of us we ain't got no cushion for bad decisions. We ain't got no cushion for bad decisions. Most of us ain't got no cushion for bad decisions. That's why you have to uh, that fitting in. I need validation. I need to fit in. You should be getting over that shit by like the third year of high school maximum. And I'm talking about the first semester of junior year. You should already not be. That should be handled. That urge for getting validation should be handled and cut by first semester of junior year of high school. If it isn't cut by that, you're gonna graduate with that shit and then take that shit into your adulthood. And then wonder, right, damn, why am I not manifesting? Why isn't the magic settling in? Because the wizard knows that fitting in shit is dumb. That fitting in shit will have you proving points for no reason to other idiots. Yo, I did 500 hours so I could prove a point. So I could prove a point. I'm not lazy. Like, nah, bitch. Like, listen, rage bait works during this day and day internet because people want to beef. People's looking to fight somebody. Like, it's like, bro, go to a boxing class. You ain't even go to a boxing class. Rage baiting just creates more anger. Like, you're not gonna change. And who are you to change someone else's opinion? Listen, when you get into arguments with motherfuckers on these streets, um, 9 times out of 10, the person got you into arguing because you were just looking for some beef, for some spice, for some drama. Look what happened to Charlie Kirk. They popped his shit real quick. You wanted drama? I bet. Because listen, this is what we can learn from Charlie Kirk. See, when Charlie Kirk did his tour, his rage baiting and shit, Charlie Kirk didn't take into consideration that someone might test him on that shit. He said, I bet. I got an AR-15 on that ass. You want to prove some shit? I'll prove some shit too. Because remember, when you do these arguments, you're trying to prove some shit to this person that you're arguing with. You don't even give a fuck about what they saying. But because you want some drama in your life, you want to do this arguing shit. And you don't know how that person's going to respond. That person could have a whole AR-15 in their backpack saying, okay, I want to prove some shit too. Because listen, some people prove shit in different ways. They prove some shit in that comment section. They prove some shit in a fist fight. And in this day and age, especially if you're in America, motherfuckers is trying to prove some shit with some guns. They said, fuck that shit. I ain't even got time to be throwing hands. I'm gonna just shoot your ass and keep it moving. And Charlie Kirk didn't think his own audience would be the one to say, oh, okay, you want to prove some points? I'll prove some shit to you. Blah, 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 blah. Real talk, trying to prove some shit. You gotta ask yourself, are you trying to prove some shit and who are you trying to prove it to? Why are you arguing? The magic don't work with arguing. The magic don't work with arguing, gossiping. This is all shit to put to spice up your life. You don't need to spice up your life with arguing. Arguing brings on anger, rage. Arguing just um, arguing is a waste of energy. Arguing is stressful. Listen, when you stop seeing peace as boring, you start realizing that the shit you were doing for drama and whatnot was because you needed spice in your life. But what you didn't realize in that spice, you're getting beat the fuck up. That's how you look at pain as pleasure. When you need some spice in your life, and you say, let me sip on some toxicity. Let me sip on this toxicity real quick. I like the toxic shit. So, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? These mysteries, the mysteries don't align with none of that. That's part of your alignment, being able to hear some shit and let it go. It's not worth it. Hear some shit, let it go. Because I'm sure Charlie Kirk had a feeling that someone was gonna was gonna call it to be his shit.
I'm sure intuition was telling him, you need to stop beef with motherfuckers on the internet, keep it on the internet. Listen, I wouldn't host in person uh rage debates. I wouldn't do that. That's too dead. In this day and age, nah, because motherfuckers want to bring guns to everything now. Like the fuck? I keep that shit on the internet. I do some Dean Withers shit and keep it on the fucking internet. Listen, keep that arguing shit, keep it on the fucking internet. Why would you go? Why would you host a whole in person rally? Because listen, anyone can show up to in person rallies. I would listen. I understand. I'm sure he was getting paid for these debates, but like, at what cost though? Like, cause listen, anyone be showing up to these motherfuckers. You putting the addy out there. Cause listen, when you do these in person events, especially if you're a professional rage baiter, you're putting the address out there. You don't know who the fuck is looking at the ad. You don't, and you're taking a chance. Cause understand something. Charlie Kirk has security. He has security. And the person popped his ass from like, what, like 100 feet away or so. I'm just saying, because you have security in the motherfucker, and he did his shit right in the open field. Bad idea, bad idea. Listen, I'm gonna do rage debates. We're gonna do it inside a building, hella with metal detectors, a building with metal detectors. Doing it out in the open fields, like bro, that's dumb. Look how he did it. What was it? Open on a college campus or some shit. Like I bet I'll get you from far away. Like what made him think that someone wasn't gonna Call of Duty his shit? Call of Duty his shit. Listen, this is another thing too. You're gonna host in-person events. Make sure it's inside a fucking building, so no one can hop on the roof or anything. Anyone that has to come in that motherfucking see you, they have to go through security. It shouldn't be that way, but there's too many crazy people in these streets. Too many crazy people in these streets. That's when you start listening to your higher self. When you avoid putting yourself in situations that is that's not situating. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Math ain't mathing. Then you need to start with a new equation. The math ain't math because listen, you're the equation. And the universe pays attention to what the fuck you're giving your attention to. And life has a funny way of giving us what we want. So you need to ask yourself, what do you want? Because you could be asking for some shit that's not. Oh, is that 50? Yeah, you could be asking for some shit that you don't want. You could be asking for some shit that you don't want. You think it's one thing and it's a whole nother thing. That's another reason why. Stop lying to yourself. You think it's one thing. You think it's one thing, and it turns out to be something completely different. Ask yourself, what are you saying now? Our egos will sell us a nice story because listen, the ego needs to feed you stories. That's what the ego depends on. That's why the ego is difficult to get rid of because it's telling you stories what you want to hear. The ego tells you what you want to hear. These dimensions tell you what you need to hear. There's a difference because what you want to hear is not what you need to hear. What you want to hear is to soften the blow of embarrassment. What you want to hear protects your ego. What you need to hear breaks barriers. What you need to hear answers your questions. What you need to hear solves the riddle on what you need to manifest. So you got to decide, do I want to hear or do I need to hear? Because wants and needs are two different things. Need is how you say fuck you to these goblins and ghosts. A want is requesting extracurricular activities at the sacrifice of your needs.
You have to make sure your needs are taken before you start wanting extracurricular activities. Make sure the activities that you do need, the stuff you do need, that shit is taken care of. Because when all your needs are taken care of, you won't seek someone out. You won't attach to someone else or something else to fulfill those needs. Because you have needs, and no one else is going to fulfill your needs for you. SEX, going in the mattress, is not a need. That's a lie we tell ourselves. So that we can add in unnecessary extracurricular activities at the cost of our magic. These portals is dangerous. These um these realms that we dive into and interact with on our daily life, uh, we are connected to those channels. Those channels are there. That's the childhood spark, or what we call the childhood spark. It's the spark we're born with. It's what you're supposed to take with you into adulthood. You're not supposed to be adulting. You're supposed to grow the spark you already had as a child with the newfound freedom of going away from your parents, making your own money, having your own place. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to drop that spark and fit into an egotistical adults, because the adults will have you be like, oh, drop your childhood spark. You don't need a childhood spark. Grow up already and be miserable like the adults. No, because adulting is simply having your own place and paying for it. That's all that is. You just want to have your own place. You just want to be a kid with adult money. You don't want the mindset that comes with adulthood, where adults think they have to ditch all their happiness, all their spark, uh, to make a livelihood. No, because what's the point of hustling and you can't use the money to be happy? You can't splurge on yourself. The whole purpose of having money is not only to pay your bills, but to splurge. Otherwise, why are you putting in this work for? Living my best life. Living my best life. That's your best life. Having your shelter and food taken care of, and still having money left over to save and splurge. You're meant to go on vacations. You're meant to buy yourself trinkets, buy yourself food. Like in my opinion, that's necessary. Because again, listen, I'll be damned if I put in all this work and I'm not getting no playtime. Something's wrong. I'm gonna get my motherfucking playtime. Fuck out of here. You deserve playtime. This is all work and no play. That don't make no fucking sense. Get the fuck out of here. Or just do all work and no, it defeats the whole purpose of stacking cream. The whole point of stacking cream for rainy days to enjoy it. That's why you want to go on vacations. Travel, be in Barbados, Tokyo, like stop playing. Like stop playing. I'm supposed to be using this moolah to chill. I worked this hard to chill. I'm not working this hard to work more hard. That don't make no fucking sense. You need balance. Working hard is balanced by the chill time. You burnt out because there's no balance. You can't do all work and have no chill time. That's impossible. That's impossible. You need your own me time. Me time is so important. That's the whole point of making 6, 7 figures, is so that you can afford more me time. You can't take so so yeah, this Ouija board is um it's a gateway to those mysteries. Because you are the Ouija board. This Ouija board is another conduit to facilitate it. But you are the Ouija board. Ultimately, you are the Ouija board. This Ouija board is simply another method to contact entities and spirits. But you can do that in your own realm. You can do that in your own realm. So go with it, sing with it, see what's good on these streets, in these magical streets, in the Hogwarts of witchcraft and wizardry. See what's good, see what's popping. That's how you lock in. Distractions, ghosts and goblins, are simply negative energies that take off your focus from the higher planes. That's what they do. When I look at this camera, I see me. I don't even see the audience. I see me, the facial expressions, the messages, what I send out, the entertainment. Your life is about seeing you, seeing who you are, seeing what you want, seeing what you need. You need peace. You need peace. You need peace. You need peace. And you need excitement. You need excitement. And you need balance. Again, hard work is balanced. Hard work is balanced um, with relaxation and peace. All hard work is no balance. That makes no sense. You need rest time. You need sit down time. It's the same thing. You're awake, you're asleep, you're eating, or your system is digesting. You're either working or you're on break time. You need to have break times. The magic. The magic is right here. The magic is right here. The magic is right here. Use it. You're a traveler. You're a seer. It will appear when you least expect it. It will appear when you least expect it. When it comes to, because what this life is about is also the unexpected. Because remember, um, when you find yourself where life wasn't what you expected it to be, that's a good thing. The possibilities are in the unknown that you couldn't wrap your mind around. That's all about finding your magic, the supernatural. You'll be feeling like the X-Men. You're meant to feel like an X-Men in this bitch. You're just like, what the fuck? My life turned out like this? Yeah, it did. Not what you expected. Because your childhood helps set up expectations. And because you think you have to go through, you have to experience these expectations, it takes away from time to go in the magic. Because the magic will prevent you from putting fake expectations on yourself. Remember, each fake situation is preceded by fake expectations. Your expectations is why you went to your expectations is why You went to a friend, your expectations is why you went to a JOB. Before you even step into a situation, you're expecting some shit. And you have to be careful of what are you expecting, because you could be expecting the world um, from something that's poison. You could be expecting the world from something that harms you. That can be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because the worst demons hide in plain sight. The worst ones are ones that hide as our confidants. That's why there's no one you really tell everything to, because that's impossible. And plus, you're saying that this person should know me better than myself. Because people use your weaknesses against you because you told them too much information, and you actually gave them leverage. You gave them leverage to understand something. People are risks, and humans aren't going to tell you their intentions, not the full intention. They're not. That's how you make the wrong friends. That's how you feel used. Um, people, no one's going to tell you all their thoughts on something, and no one's going to tell you everything they think about you. That's not going to happen. So to expect someone to be your all, that's impossible. That's impossible. It's impossible. Only you can be your all. Only you can be your all. You are your everything. You are your yours truly. No one else can fix that position for you.